Hello, everybody. We are back, finally. After last night's fiasco, we ended up not streaming because I was having issues. But we're back now. We got it all figured out. Part 3 of Would You Like to Run an Idle Cafe? I wake up early the following morning and have a brief breakfast in the hotel's restaurant with Ichigo, Ku, and Miyuki. Situated for the four of us and set off for the large open-air stadium where the Rising Stars Cup will be held. The stadium is only a few subway stops away from the hotel, and we arrive there in good time, with 15 minutes to spare. The four of us stare at the stadium, our eyes wide. It's such an impressive structure. It reminds me a little of the Roman Colosseum. I looked up photos of this place before setting off, but I didn't expect it to be quite this imposing in real life. I guess it stands to reason it'd be big, given it can supposedly hold 10,000 spectators, but it seems excessive even so. I can only imagine how big the stage is inside. Is. Are Sweet Shoreline really going to perform in a venue like this? Wow! Ichigo, like me, seems stunned by the sheer size of the stadium. Her eyes are wide, her lips pierced in a perplexed ring. This is, incredible. It's even more amazing than I thought. Now, we're here. I'm starting to get the shivers. I do not blame you. I feel much the same. What? Really? I glance at Ku, bemused. I didn't know you ever felt uneasy, Ku. Of course I do. From time to time, I am not a robot, and I have feelings. It is quite rude that you would think otherwise, Naoya. I guess you have a point, haha. Abashed, I run a hand through my hair. Sorry, Ku. I'm not used to seeing you like this, it is all. You never seem to react much of anything. To much of anything. Is it rare that any of the sights this mortal plane has to offer are able to shake me? It is true. This stadium is different, however. It is full of excitable energy. I can feel it in the air. Sorry, my buddy texted me. I just responded to you too. Many people have come and gone through these doors. Their sentiments linger, even if their physical bodies do not. I can practically taste the excitement. Oh yeah? What flavor is it? Spicy, like mapo tofu. Mapo tofu? Huh? I didn't think Ku would be able to reply that somewhat faceless response, but she defied my expectations. Ku's very good at doing that. This stadium has a rich history, and is crammed full of fond memories. And soon, we too shall make our own mark upon this place. I wonder if our memories will linger too. I'm sure they will. You're pretty unforgettable, Ku. Why, thank you. I will take that as a compliment. I can only hope our audience feels the same way. Goodness me. Miyuki, who's been silent up until this point, finally stammers out. One of her hands is gripping her chest tight, and her eyes are wide with worry. This place really is big. I knew it would be large, of course, but I had no idea it would be quite this extravagant. How can we ever sing and dance in such a place? It's too much. It's kind of intimidating, I'll admit, even for a happy-go-lucky gal like me. But listen, Miyuki. Ichigo takes Miyuki's hands in her own, then gives them a squeeze. I'm sure you can do it. You won't be alone, okay? Ku and I will be with you. And Naoya, too. We'll support you every step of the way. We can do this. Do not fret. But There shall be no buts. There, Miyuki. My cute kitty. Relax. Everything will be alright. Miyuki hangs her head, her cheeks dusted pink. I half expected her to lose her temper and throw Ku off, But, to my surprise, she doesn't. She really must be anxious if she's letting Ku baby her like this. Her arms, which are held stiffly by her side, are shivering. I can't help but feel for her. Now, breathe in. Miyuki inhales obediently. And out. Miyuki exhales. Breathe in. Miyuki inhales. And out. She exhales. There. That wasn't so hard, was it? Do you feel better now? I suppose I do feel a little calmer now. Thank you, Ku. Miyuki clears her throat and steps back for Ku. Her long, usually straight black hair and somewhat rumpled after being patterned but she's soon able to smooth it down. I apologize for being so dismal. I do not know what came over me. Now, Miyuki looks once more at the stadium, her eyes narrowed with newfound determination. Let us keep going. There is still a lot we have to do. We still need to see the stage upon which we will be performing. I am sure it will be unlike the makeshift stage at Miss Mayamori's cafe, but we should be fine. We have already made it this far. I know we can do it. We just need more motivation. Miyuki hastens to correct herself. Her cheeks turning cherry red. Motivation. That is the key. Let us do our very best. But of course. Ichigo beams and glances upon the stands. We aren't the first group here by any means, and the stadium's all abuzz with activity. I can see cute girls everywhere I look. There are so many of them. I'm feeling a bit dazed, and so too is Ichigo. Oh my gosh. Ichigo squeals, her hands clenched into fists at her front. There are like so many famous people here. This place is full of idols, and they're all adorable. Some of these girls are clustered together, talking, while others are sizing up the competition. I don't recognize any of these groups myself, save one. A couple of girls are sitting several seats away, heads bowed, murmuring to one another. They are, of course, Hasaki and Rina. I wonder if my entourage have noticed them. I think of pointing them out to Ichigo, but her attention's been captured by all the other pretty girls in the immediate vicinity. She isn't observing them anxiously. As Miyuki is, she doesn't share in Ku's blank, emotionless expression. Ichigo looks so enthused. She's positively bouncing on her heels. This is crazy. I've followed some of these girls for years. I've seen them blossom from beginning into super talented performers that can rival pros. If my eyes aren't mistaking me, and they might just be, they've been so dazzled that Kuzu from Blueberries and Habiria from Yes, My Mistress. The girls from Witch Academy are all here, and they're Stardust Sweepers, and oh my gosh! Ichigo grabs my upper arms, giving it a squeeze. That's Flower Shower! It's the Flower Shower! In the flesh! Flower Shower? I frown. Is their music any good? Naoya, I am shocked at you! Ichigo steps away from me, then plants her hands firmly on her hips. How could you ask me if the Flower Showers are any good? They're Flower Shower! For goodness sake! Everyone knows them! I don't know them. Me neither. Or me. And you call yourselves idols? I love it. I love Flower Shower. No, I'm not an idol. I protest, but my words fall on deaf ears. Ichigo's too worked up to pay me any attention. Clearly I haven't been thorough enough in my lessons. I cannot believe you could be so ignorant about the amateur idols industry. It's true enough that Flower Shower aren't pros. They aren't signed on to any big label, but they're like really popular. They've been together for almost 5 years, and they have a whole bunch of fans. They've released loads of CDs, which sell well, super well, and they put on a lot of shows. I've been a big fan ever since their debut. They're incredible. They sure sound like it. Miyuki eyes up the Flower Showers girls anxiously. From what I can gather, they seem to be a seven-girl group. Their members look a bit older than Sweet Shoreline, but they're doubtlessly beautiful. Their face made up, their hair carefully styled. They exude idolish aura, even when observing from a distance. I can see why Ichigo is so fond of them. Be still, my beating heart. They look even cuter in real life than they do in their PVs. Yuna is practically adorable. I think she might be my favorite, but all the girls are so good it's hard to just pick one. I like Karen, and Miki a lot too. And oh my gosh, is that Ariza? Has she cut her hair? I almost didn't recognize her for a second. She's never had it in a bob quite that short before. It's totally a new look, but it really suits her. They've really stepped up their game for this competition. They're so cute. I want to get all their autographs. I can't even. Ka! Ichigo squeals, both her hands pressed against her cheeks. She seems to have drifted off into a la-la land at the sight of all these idols, but she's soon distracted by a new presence upon the stadium's sizable stage. Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful day, is it not? My name is Hazora Shiri. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance of any of promising new talents. Oh my gosh. Ichigo grabs hold of my arm once more. Her nails dig me so tightly it hurts, and I wince, but Ichigo doesn't seem to notice. Ichigo looks utterly starstruck, and she isn't the only one. I can hear girls around us murmuring to each other, or failing that to each other, their voice awash with admiration. Item number 1. Wait, why did I just read the name? Is that really her? Could it be? Is that Shuri in the flesh? Is she really standing here? I knew she'd be judging the competition, but I never thought she would appear on stage to speak to us during our first practice session. What did I do in a past life to deserve this? I'm so happy I could die. Oh my gosh, she's even prettier in real life than she is in her music videos. This is the best day of my life. Miyuki exhales one hand beneath her chin. So this is Ashurori, Shirori, is it? She seems rather popular. Of course she's popular. Silly, Mayuyu. She's only the most popular idol in the whole entire industry. Anybody who's anybody knows Shuri, and I can hardly believe she's actually here. This feels like a dream. Somebody please pinch me. Alright, here you go. Eek! Ichigo squeals, then recoils from Ku, whimpering. Cutting, you still here? Can you do me a favor and check my first 2 streams of this? This kind of seems familiar. Did I already stream these 2 parts? I'm gonna keep going, and then just let me know if you could. I feel like I've done this already. Ichigo squeals and recoils from Ku, whimpering. That hurt. It was supposed to. You did ask me to pinch you. At least you know now that this is no dream. The woman standing upon that stage can only be Shirori Shuri. I gotta cough a little. She is like no mortal woman I have ever met before. With an aura like that, she could be a goddess. Ashizora Shirori stands upon the stage, smiling genuinely at the wannabe idols in the stands. It really is like Ku said. Shirori looks strikingly like a goddess, what with her gentle expression and her Shirori impeccable figure. I've seen Shirori face hundreds of times in magazines and on CD covers, and on the posters taped to each go's wall. I wouldn't mistake a Shirori for anybody else, not in a heartbeat. But unlike most celebrities, whose blemishes are obscured in photo shoots with clever image editing, Shirori looks even prettier in real life. She's practically perfect, completely pairless. Oh god, where did I click? Return. No, you haven't done this part yet. Okay, thank God. She's perfectly pairless. Appreciate that. I'm not as invested in the idol industry as Ichigo, but I can't help but be drawn to her. Her allure is irresistible. I never thought I'd be all starstruck, but Hashizora Shirori has proven me wrong. She's amazing. I am very gratified to see so many fresh faces for what will be the 10th Rising Star Cup. Shirori addresses the stadium once the four generated by her presence had quieted. It would not be possible to stage this competition without your cooperation. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Shirori bows deeply, her silky hair shifting in the breeze. I feel very humbled as I stand here before you. I could not be happier than so many wish to follow in my footsteps. Now, I think some congratulations are in order. You deserve to be commended for being selected for the Rising Stars Cup. That in of itself is a wonderful achievement. Though only one group may emerge from the competition victorious, you are all winners in my eyes. Please, give yourself a round of applause. Yeah, okay. Wow. The idols assembled around me seem fit to swoon as a swell of enthusiastic clapping fills the air. Shirori praised me. I can't believe it. I don't care if I win or not, I'm already a champion. This is too good to be true, I could simply swoon. Shirori sure knows how to get a crowd going, huh? Well, of course she does. Isn't Japanese top idol for nothing. You're so incredible, Shirori. We lowly peons are nothing compared to you. Thank you, Shirori, for believing in us. Thank you so much. The applause is eventually peters out. Peter. And when it does, Shirori takes her microphone in hand once more to address the assembled crowd. Now let me explain how the Rising Star Cups works. The competition will take place in 5 days. On Saturday evening, during the competition, each group will have 10 minutes to perform 2 songs of their choosing. Once all groups have performed, there will be a short break during which the general public will vote for their favorite group. These votes will be tallied, then added to the votes of our one-site judge, myself included. Hold on, I forgot to do something. Whoops. Whoops. Oh, I can't do it now, don't matter. These votes will be okay, myself included. Whichever group has the most points will be crowned the winner. The winning group will give a speech to their fans and shall perform one last song to close off the show. That summarizes the competition. But there are several free days leading up to it, which have yet to be accounted for. During these days, you girls will be able to use the stadium to practice. You will each be given half an hour a day to dance upon this very stage, where I am standing, but that is all. I apologize that we cannot give you more time to practice, but there are a lot of you and time is limited. You can practice more than you're allowed 30 minutes each day, of course, but you will have to find a suitable place to practice on your own. These time slots will be distributed randomly each day for the sake of fairness. The earlier slot begins at 07:30 and the latest is at 21:30. You do not need to come to the stadium at 07:30 sharp. You do okay, as you did today. Your time slots will be emailed to you each morning at 06:30 precisely, which should give you ample time to plan your days. Rather than determine today's practice slots randomly, we shall instead go by alphabetical order. We will call you up one by one, so please wait patiently. I would advise you to spend today here, so you might observe your competition. While you are all talented idols in your own rights, you might learn something by watching your competition. It does not do to underestimate your opponents. No matter how confident you may be feeling. This might be wishful thinking on my part, but I swear I see Shirori shooting a pointed gaze at Hasaki and Rina. And they might possess techniques that you yourself are lacking. Even I have much to discover, both about myself and others, though I have been in the industry a very long time. Let us look upon the other groups, not as enemies. They must be bested, but potential allies, whose own unique experiences might help you. I think it would be wonderful if you girls could all work together to support one another. No good comes from trying to tear each other down. We are all idols here, and we all wish to walk the same path, and yes, I am including myself in that. Every single one of us has a good deal in common. Shirori smiles genuinely. Now, I wish you all good luck, please. Do your best. I would very much like to witness a series of wonderful performances from you that will bring a smile to my face. That is what being an idol is all about, after all. I am sure you would all agree with me. Why else would one become an idol if one did not want to make others smile? Bestowing happiness upon others is most worthy, notable cause, and I think you girls all are full of potential. I cannot wait to see what you are capable of. Yay. With Shirori address over, some of the idols are called onto the stage in alphabetical order so they can begin practicing. Sweet Shoreline are pretty far along in the line, so I estimate it will take a while, at least 5 or 6 hours, before they're called to the stage. I decided to hang around in the stalls with Ichigo, Ku, and Miyuki during the long wait. The 4 of us watched the other groups as they perform, one after another. Some acts are going for an aggressively cute aesthetic with poppy, cheerful songs, while others have an edgier vibe with eerie lyrics and a lot of crunchy guitars. There are groups comprised of young girls who must be in middle school and groups of older women that are clearly going for a sexy, mature kind of vibe. Some of the groups have 9, 10, even 11 members, while others are duos like Hasaki and Rina. There's a lot of variation among Sweet Shoreline's competitors, but one thing remains consistent throughout all these performances: they're all incredibly polished. The girls going for the sugary sweet aesthetic smile brightly as though there's nowhere they'd rather be than on the stage. The more edgier girls, meanwhile, pose dramatically and smirk at the scattered audience. It's a little wonder that these acts were selected to participate in the Rising Stars Cup. They're also confident they already look like stars. They might as well be professional idols already. I knew the competition would be a tough one, but I didn't realize there were quite so many quality amateur idol groups across Japan. It's kind of crazy. Random numbers calling. Wow. Miyuki stares at the stage, transfixed, one hand resting upon her breast. These girls are really something. Of course they are. What did you expect? These acts are all pretty famous, especially Flower Shower. Blueberries and yes, my mistress are super good too, though. I wouldn't want to discredit them. It's like so amazing I can see them all perform. I've watched her videos on my tube dozens and dozens of times. I've really got to get their autographs. Ichigo looks to be in her element, while Miyuki seems deeply unnerved. She knows as much about the idol industry as I do, which is to say, not a lot. And I think she's even less clued up upon the amateur idol scene. She was most likely unaware when she agreed to join the Rising Stars Cup of just how tough her competition would be. I can't fault her for that. I'm pretty stunned too. I see. Miyuki swallows. She looks down at her lap, her dark hair curled upon her index finger. She always seems to toy with her tresses when she gets anxious. I had no idea. This is all getting a bit much. I'm starting to get anxious. I don't know if I can perform in front of them after all. I wouldn't want these girls to laugh at me. Easy, Miyuki. You're working yourself up again. I don't want you to hyperventilate. I know that, but that isn't what I was expecting. But this isn't what I was expecting. We've yet to take the stage, and my legs are already shaking. It'll be fine, Miyuyu. Don't, worry too much. We're relatively noobs compared to a lot of these girls. But we've talents all of our own. I think we can do this. Do you really? Yep. We've come this far already. We can't back down now. Besides, I've been a fan of a bunch of these groups for ages. I can't deny I'm pretty in awe being around so many talents, but I won't let that stop me. We're talented too. I don't know if we can surpass Flower Shower, but I'm still going to give it all my all. If I didn't, I'd never be able to forgive myself. I mean, who knows? They might end up enamored with us, too. It sounds kind of wild, but stranger things have happened. Ichigo sighs while cupping her cheeks with her hands. What would I do if Sakura from Flower Shower asked me for my autograph? I'd be so happy I think I'd, die. I'm such a big fan of hers. You won't die, and neither will you, Miyuki. We will make it out of this alive, regardless of how talented our competition are. Look. Ku reaches for the pouch attached to her belt, then extracts a card for our parcel. It isn't a creepy card like Death, or even an ominous one, like the Lightning Strike Tower. This card is very familiar. I remember her drawing it from her pouch a couple of months prior, when she was trying to assuage Miyuki's worries. The card depicts a beautiful woman with long, golden hair, holding a wheel in her hands. In English, it says beneath the detailed illustration, "The Wheel of Fortune." Again, huh? Ku nods. I have been checking out the cards regularly after we agreed to partake in this competition. Whenever I sort through the deck, I find my fingers drawn to this one. I believe it could be a good sign. We will do well in the competition. I have faith in that, as do the spirits. They have been supporting our efforts, so please do not worry. Try to be more confident in yourself, Miyuki. You can do it. I don't know much about the spirits, but I do feel a bit better now. Miyuki sighs. I am trying to be calm, but I cannot help it. This is all very new to me, and my mind keeps conjuring up worst case scenarios. I need to learn how to relax. You do indeed, but don't worry. I'm going to keep you so busy, Miyuyu, and you too, Ku, that you won't have any time to worry. We're really going to go all out? We've got to, if we are trying to impress Shirori. And if we get tired, we'll have to play twice as hard. Don't that sound like fun? It sounds exhausting. But hard work is always preferable to worrying with no end. It is more productive too, not to mention profitable. Miyuki smiles. I think I have had enough of mopping. It does little other than feed into my anxiety, which is quite unhelpful. I am here now, so I might as well make the most of it. It is too late for regrets. I'm going to do my very best, no matter what happens. You can rely on me. Here Miyuki's confident falters. She glances at Ku and Ichigo from beneath her eyelashes. Her cheeks tinged pale pink, and shyly murmurs, "At least I hope I can." The hours trickle by slowly, like syrup, until Sweet Shoreline's practice slots eventually arrives. I wish Ichigo, Ku, and Miyuki good luck, then sit back in the stands to watch them work. Sweet Shoreline takes the stage standing in formation. They hold their arms aloft, minds grip tight, and wait for the music to start. The backing tracks begins, building to a fevered pitch. It spills out from the speakers, filling the outdoor arena like smoke. The girls of Sweet Shoreline move in time to it. Ichigo and Ku first, Miyuki a touch delayed. The three of them are smiling, Ichigo the widest of them all, but Miyuki's expression looks somewhat strained. Will she be alright? I ponder as I watch her performance. What happened beneath my chin? They're pretty good. After all the practice they put in, but something still feels a touch off. About them. Miyuki's anxiety is palpable, even from the stands. It wouldn't kill Ku to smile a bit more, either. Ichigo is radiant, as per usual, but I'm worried she's overcompensating for the other two. Her smile is perhaps a bit too wide, almost forced. Hold on. Their steps are all in sync. They're singing in key, but I think they could stand to improve. They wouldn't embrace themselves. They wouldn't embarrass themselves if they were to perform like this. But they're still lacking something. I have no idea what that something could be, though. I turned these thoughts over in my head. My eyes zeroed in on Sweet Shoreline when... Excuse me, mister. Oh? I blink, draw from my reverie, and glance over my shoulder. A pretty woman is standing beside me, her arms linked behind her back. Curly hair tumbles over her shoulder, through which is woven a seafoam green ribbon. She's very pretty, in a soothing sort of way. Her voluptuous body is all curves, and her green eyes are lidded with a full sweep of lashes. She defies labels such as pretty, or even cute. She's utterly beautiful. Perhaps the most gorgeous woman I've ever laid my eyes on. It's Hashizora Shirori in the flesh. Not a static image on a poster, or a distant golden on stage, or a distant goddess on stage, but the real deal. It's a bit surreal seeing somebody so famous up close and personal like this. I'm so disoriented, I'm not even sure where to rest my eyes. Yeah, my throat's getting a little dry. What is she doing so close to me? Has she mistaken me for somebody more important than I really am? Oh, did you mean to speak to me? I believe so, yes. Shirori smiles, dimples creasing her cheeks, and glances about. I don't see anybody else nearby, do you? True to Shirori's words, the stands are more or less deserted. Some of the other idol groups came with managers who took to the stands to watch them perform. But there aren't many groups left to go on stage, and most of these onlookers have gone. There's something a bit eerie about being surrounded by so many empty seats. This stadium is one built for us, for use. No, us. This stadium is one built for us. Or no, for use. Jesus. It feels void of purpose. Defunct, almost with so many seats unoccupied. I guess that's true enough. Crap, my voice is trembling, and I can feel my hands shaking. How am I supposed to talk to a celebrity like Shirori? I have no idea. Never having spoken to somebody like her before. Talk about her trial by fire. I'm sweating bullets here. It's, very nice to meet you, Miss Hashizora. Hashizora? Please, call me Shirori. Is that really alright? Naturally, I am asking, after all. I don't much care for formalities. They're awfully stuffy, and it's hard to relax when one is consistently minding one's manners. Shirori's smile takes on a mischievous edge, and being called Miss makes me feel awfully old. Right, that wasn't my intention. I'm sorry if I was being rude. It's quite alright, please do not worry. Try to loosen up. I'm not so very scary, you know. I don't bite. Shirori giggles, amused at her own joke, while my face flushes scarlet. So, was she aware of my trembling hands and my sweaty palms? I sure hope that. That'd be embarrassing. I think it's supposed to be not. I sure hope not. That'd be embarrassing. I don't want my discomfort to be too obvious. It's not like Shirori's done anything to warrant it either, other than being a national superstar. Now, this seems awfully unfair to me. Well, what's unfair? You know my name, but I am afraid I am quite in the dark as to yours. Would you care to elaborate? Or elucidate? Oh, right. So that's what she meant. I guess it does put me at something of an advantage knowing so much about Shirori while she knows next to nothing about me. There isn't much to know about me, really. If Shirori had singled me out because she thinks I'm interesting, she'll be sorely disappointed. But I oblige her. I'd be rude not to. I'm Naoya. Yakayama Naoya. Naoya, is it? It's very nice to meet you. Shirori beams. My name is Hashizora Shirori, though. Of course, you already know that. And I want you to call me Shirori. I would like to call you Naoya in turn. How does that sound? It sounds awfully intimate, given we've just met, but I'd feel too awkward telling Shirori to dial it down. What right do I have to tell an idol like Shirori what to do? She's a major celebrity, whereas I'm a complete nobody. I have no sway in this conversation, no power at all. Now, how does this make me feel? Obviously, excited. It's kind of exciting, actually. I'm totally Shirori's straw, but I'm getting a kick out of it. This is pretty thrilling. I can't exactly sit around, though, gawping. Shirori's waiting on me to reply. I need to speak stat. That's, sounds good to me. Wonderful. I'm so happy. Thank you for being so understanding, Naoya. You really are a nice boy. I can tell you and I will get on. I am sure, given time, we will be the best of friends. Shirori giggles again, which of course makes me blush. I feel as bashful as a schoolboy around her. Her laughter, not to mention her gentle smile, and her hug, and her huge heaving bosom, is doing a real number on me. It would be nice if we could have coffee together sometime, or go for a walk in the park. Many women my age take such fun, frivolous activities for granted, but Shirori sighs, then shakes her head. I do not have that luxury. My schedule is so very busy. I cannot afford to whittle time away so carelessly. It is a pity. But that is the price one must pay when one is as successful as I. I have grown accustomed to it. It would not do to bore you with my concerns, which, in the face of it, are rather trivial. I know many people suffer hardship, which are far more genuine. That is not why I approached you. No? No. Shuri smiles indulgently. What I meant to ask before I got so very distracted, is it a bad habit of mine? It is a bad habit of mine. I'm such an airhead. Is this... Shuri clears her throat, her arms folded behind her back, then she says, do you know those girls performing on stage? We were watching them rather intently. Oh yeah. I look back at the stage to Ichigo, Ku, and Miyuki. Their practice session is coming to a close, but they're doing their best to write out every last drop of enthusiasm they have. Ichigo spins on the spot, her pigtails fluttering. Miyuki comes in from the right, Ku to the left, and together they pose. Their choreography is pleasing to watch. It takes full advantage of their frilly, fluffy skirts, which puff out at each step like blooming flowers. They look good, really, they do, but I still can't shake the feeling there's something missing. I know these girls. We came to Tokyo together, actually. I suspected as much. Are you their manager, then? I don't know if that's quite the right word. Miss Mayamori is Sweet Shoreline's employer, while Ichigo is the leader of the whole operation. She's the one who puts in all the real work. She manages Sweet Shoreline's social media, she handles their correspondence, and she sorts out their choreography. She really does work hard. I have no right to call myself Sweet Shoreline's manager, given how little work I do. It would sound awfully pompous, and it wouldn't really be fair to Ichigo. I'm more of a cheerleader, really. I see. I did think you were awfully young to be a manager. You are friends with these girls, though, I take it? Yes, that's right. They're all very dear to me. And you want them to succeed? Of course I do. I couple my earnest reply with a nod of my head, which makes Shuri giggle. She seems to do that a lot. My, how hot-blooded. You really must value your friends a good deal. It is very sweet of you to come all this way out here to cheer them on. They're lucky to have you, Naoya. I don't know about that. I'm nothing special, really. I am not sure if I can agree with that, and I doubt your friends would. They must value you immensely. If they asked you to accompany them to the Rising Star Cup, I'm sure it's because of you that they are able to sing and dance so well. Really? I glance away abashed, my face tinged pink. How'd you figure? Is it not apparent? Throughout their performance, they all have been looking at you. I start, surprised. I think stare. I'd be watching Sweet Shoreline carefully, making a list of pointers inside my head all the while, and I've not even noticed that. I guess Ichigo, Ku, and Miyuki have grown to so used to practicing with me around, they've naturally begun to seek me out. If that really is true, I'll have to talk to them about it. Idol groups can't afford to focus on one member of the audience. They need to sing, smile for everybody. I can tell your bonds must be awfully strong. I can see it in their performance. That is what drew me to you, like a moth to the flame. I simply could not keep away, not with these girls' faces being so full of love. Even I, with all my years of experience, feel stirred emotion in my breast when I gaze upon them. Shuri rests a hand upon her generous chest to further prove her point. It is a bit sad, though. These girls, Sweet Shoreline, I believe their group is called, have wonderful smiles. They would be better served if they could direct them to the rest of the audience, too. As it is, it feels like they are performing for you, and you alone. It is so intimate, I feel as though I am intruding. Shuri giggles. That being said, Sweet Shoreline have a lot of promise. They are not at the level of elites just yet, but I think they can get there with a bit of hard work. Really? I stare at Shuri, my mouth hanging open. It's one thing receiving complimentary comments on my MyTube videos, but it's quite another to hear an industry pro like Shuri say Sweet Shoreline have promise. If she can see promise in Sweet Shoreline, then they must have talent. It's giving my spirits quite the boost. Do you think they can win the Rising Star Cup? At the present, no. But if they continue to better themselves, then perhaps it is not so unlikely a scenario. Their performance is lacking, but it's full of so much love. It's positively overflowing. I cannot wait to see how they develop. I only hope that they do not push them so hard. Hope that you do not push them so hard they lose their spark. I will be keeping a very close eye on them throughout the competition. And you too, of course, Naoya. Perhaps I should not say this, given I am on the judge panel, but I really have taken a liking to you. Ooh. Hey, Naoya, was I, hallucinating, or were you talking to Shirori just now? Ichigo confronts me after the Sweet Shorelines practice session, hands clenched at her front. She's changed out of her maid uniform she dons to perform, and now she looks much the same as normal, if a tad more flushed. Her hair is messy, doubtless from dancing, and I can see her chest rising and falling beneath the green fabric of her favorite dress. Her eyes, meanwhile, are shining. You drank. I can't tell whether this is a result of her performance or because she caught me speaking to Shirori. Maybe it's a mix of the two. Perpetually cheerful though Ichigo may be, I don't think I've ever seen her look quite this excitable before. Yeah, that's right. I admit, after a small pause, it's not like I'm trying to keep my talk with Shirori a secret or anything, but I am a bit worried Ichigo might get jealous. I know how much she adores Shirori. It doesn't seem fair, really, that Shirori should pay me so much attention when Ichigo is a much bigger fan than I am. We were talking a little bit. Oh my gosh, there's no way. What did Shirori say? What did she want? Was she watching our performance? I want to know what she said. I'm super duper hyped. Goodness me. Miyuki, who's standing to the side of Ichigo, toying with a lock of her dark hair, blanches. It is rather embarrassing to think of a famous idol like Shirori was watching us. I hope she did not find us lacking. Compared to her, naturally, we have a lot to learn. But if she were to say that out loud, that would be horribly embarrassing. I'd be happy to hear anything she has to say, personally. Shirori could call me human garbage, and I'd be thankful she took the time out of her busy schedule to speak to me. She could even spit on me for all I care. That's how much I love her. Wow, goodness me. I did not know your interests were so extreme. Well, what can you say? When you love somebody as much as I love Shirori, any attention feels like good attention. I'd be her slave if she wanted, if it would make her happy. I suppose we all are slaves in a way to fate. Who lips curve into an energetic smile. But that was surprisingly kinky. I guess I'm a girl with varied interests. You can say that again. So, Naoya, what did Shirori say? Tell me. Naoya, tell me. I can't stand to be left out of the loop. It's, nothing as wild as you seem to think. Shirori didn't call you human garbage, and she doesn't want to spit on you. And I don't think she wants you to be her slave, either. What? Really? Ichigo pouts. What a bummer. I love her. You're disappointed by that? I had no idea Ichigo wanted so badly to be Shirori's plaything. I know Ichigo loves Shirori and all, but this love of hers is more intense than I imagined. Ichigo really is a crazy fangirl, but after talking to Shirori, I think I get it. Would I be too unhappy, really, if Shirori spat on me? I would say maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Shirori's so beautiful, I think I'd welcome any sort of attention from her, even negative attention. Oh, geez, I'm just as bad as Ichigo. Well, whatever. I clear my throat, then launch into a brief recap of my conversation with Shirori. I tell Ichigo, and Miyuki that Shirori has been observing all of today's acts, and that she sensed potential in Sweet Shoreline. She said you were unpolished, but your raw talent was obvious. She seems to think that you have it in you to be top idols if you work at it. She was very complimentary. What? Is that really true? Miyuki stares at me, her eyes wide, hardly daring to believe. Did Shirori really say those kinds of things about us? She did, and she seemed to mean it, too. She sounded very sincere. Goodness, how incredible. Miyuki looks awed, by Shirori's kind words, but that's nothing compared to Ichigo. She's standing stock still like a statue, unmoving and unblinking. Is she alright? Hey, Ichigo? I approach her, then wave a hand in front of her blank, unresponsive face. Earth to Ichigo, is anyone home? No response. This could be serious. I guess I'll have to play dirty if I'm to make any progress. If you take leave of your senses, you'll never be able to perform in front of Shirori. You wouldn't want to let your idol down, would you? No, I just... Ichigo stammers, her fingers clasped at her front. She glances at me from beneath a sweep of long golden eyelashes. And then, with a sudden squeal, Coo! She launches herself at me in a sudden, almost aggressive embrace. This is so amazing! I can hardly believe it! Shirori, that Shirori, said we have potential. She said we have promise. My favorite idol in all the world has finally noticed me. This is the best day of my life. I'm very happy to hear that, but I wince while trying and failing to extract myself from Ichigo's embrace. Normally, I'd be happy about the close contact, but she's clinging to me so freaking hard it hurts. I'm afraid I'm going to get sawed in half here. Can you let go of me, please? I know you're excited, but I can't breathe. I choke out, but my protests fall upon deaf ears. Ichigo's still off. Ichigo's still off in her own little world, thus leaving me at the mercy of her unbridled strength. Shirori noticed me. She noticed me. Isn't this, amazing? It's incredible. Good. I grip my teeth together. I think I can hear something shattering deep inside me. I hope Ichigo hasn't broken any ribs. That wouldn't be a nice way to die. How will I ever get myself out of this sticky situation? What a predicament. Ku watches me, unflinching, her face void of emotion. I'm glad Shirori praises us, but if all clouds have silver linings, the reserve must hold true. Fortune and misfortune often go hand in hand. That is the way of life. What are we talking about? What are you talking about? This. Ku reaches in her pouch at her hip, then fishes a card from her trusty tarot pack. My vision is beginning to blur, thanks to Ichigo's bone-cracking hug, but I can just about make out the image of a skeleton, which is an anonymous English phrase written beneath it. I've seen this card often enough to know what it represents. It's death. Ichigo might be in heaven after being praised by Shirori, but it seems I might literally go to heaven as a result of said praise. Could this really be the end of the road? I really can't breathe. My eyelids fall shut, and then I feel my conscience slipping away. We've had such a busy day. Ichigo claims this exhausted once we arrive back at our hotel. She claps onto her soft, springy bed, then nuzzles her cheek against its sheets. We've finally been reunited, my dearest bed. My one true love. I'll never leave you again. Not for as long as I live. We'll see how that works out. I smile amused at Ichigo's antics. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you'll have to be parted from your love tomorrow. You can't rehearse from bed. Boo! Ichigo pouts. Why have you got to pour cold water on my parade, Naoya? You're such a rotten realist. Don't worry, Ichigo. I know you must be tired, but you can do it. You can do this. I believe in you. Well, thanks for the vote of confidence. I guess I'll keep on doing my best, regardless of how much I want to become one with my bed. Yes, indeed. Right, until the next morning. We do not have any time to relax. It is a luxury we can scarce afford. The idols participate in the tournaments are incredibly talented. We must push ourselves harder than we ever have if we do not wish to make fools of ourselves. fact, I think we should start practicing immediately. Eh? Ichigo sits up in her bed, then pouts. You mean right now? Yes, right now. We have no other option. I do not want to be shown up on stage as a fool, not in front of thousands of people. That would be humiliating. I get where she's coming from. I get where you're coming from, but I can't help but recall Shirori's words from earlier. She told me to look out for a sweet shoreline and not to push them too hard. Practicing around the clock will only tire them out, and I doubt it'll do much for Miyuki's anxiety either. Each practice session will make her fixated on her performance all the more, until she begins to second-guess everything. I know what Miyuki's like, and I know she has a habit of working herself until she's on the brink of collapse. As her friend and her producer, of a sort, I can't let that happen. I'll have to step in and make an executive decision for the sake of Sweet Shoreline's future. I think it's a bit too late to practice right now, don't you? You'd be better served by taking some time off. No, we can't. Weren't you listening to me, Naoya? We're going to be up against some very stiff competition. We need to be at the peak of our performance if we are to stand any hope of besting them. I hear you. I agree with you. But working too hard will only make things worse. For now, you should be celebrating that you were able to make it this far. You ought to be treating yourselves. I don't think that we've done anything to deserve being treated. We've yet to see any results. Yes, you have. Don't sell yourself short. Getting here is an achievement enough, don't you think? That's a nice sentiment, but it isn't enough. There's little point getting here. There's little point in getting here if we are to stumble later on. And like I said, the warier you are, the more likely it is you'll stumble. Please try to relax, Miyuki. We should do something fun. I don't know. I'm not convinced, but what do you have in mind exactly? Are we going to hold a seance? I love Ku. Why would we do that? You said we could do something fun. I think your definition of fun is a bit different from the average person's, Ku. Oh, I see. There's a brief pause, and then, do you want to listen to goat noises together? No. Or summon a demon god from beyond the boundaries of time and space? Ku sounds so serious when putting forth these ideals, it's unnerving. I can't tell if she's toying with me or not. After all this time, I still don't fully understand her. At least it's never boring in Ku's company. She's an interesting person, alright. Sorry, but I'm going to veto all your suggestions. What I have in mind was a bit more pedestrian. Oh, what a pity. Ku sighs. Still, I suppose I should not have expected anything more from a man as mundane as you. Where's your plan of action? I think you'll appreciate it, Ku. It's something we can all get behind. Now, let's all kick back, relax, and order a pizza. An hour later. Oh, hello. Little cutie little thing. Yo, there's mushrooms on it. Ah, this is so good. Pizza is like to die for. The cheese is so stringy. The toppings are all so good together. I just can't get enough of it. Ichigo sighs deeply as though in a trance, as she bites into a slice of warm, freshly delivered pizza. The pizza is covered with gooey cheese and rich tomato sauce, which has then been stubbed with sliced mushroom, pepperoni, and diced olives. I like the olives and pepperoni. It's a decadent pizza, and it looks delicious. Ichigo's chowing down on it like it's manna from heaven or something. I wasn't that hungry before we placed our order at the nearby pizza joint, but now I feel downright ravenous. I can't wait to dig in. You should help yourself to a slice, Naoya. Super good. Ichigo tries and fails to articulate through a thick mouthful of carbs. Normally, I'd scold her for talking with her mouth full. It's not a pleasant habit, but I'm too starved to care. That is, right? That's what I'm saying, bro. Starved to care. Manners can afford to wait. Pizza's more important. I prize a slice from the box. strands of cheese stretching, then snapping in its wake, and bring it to my mouth. I take a bite and... Oh... Now it's my turn to sigh in ecstasy. Ichigo was right. This pizza is super good. I scarf it down, barely pausing to chew, and sigh in satisfaction. There's nothing like pizza after a hard day's work. You're telling me. I concur. Ku, who has been politely nibbling at her own slice, pipes up. It is rather delicious, though you ought to be careful. Who, me? Ku nods. It would be a pity if you were to choke to death upon a piece of pizza. It would be a shameful way to expire. Jesus, Ku! Your spirit would never be able to endure the shame. Aggravated, your soul would be tethered to this earth, and soon you would become a vengeful spirit. Wow, that's kind of nuts. Everything Ku says is nuts. I've gotten used to it at this point. She does paint quite the vivid picture, though. Ku talks so sparingly that when she does speak up, I feel obligated to pay her extra special attention. Could that really happen? Ku nods. All over a slice of pizza? She nods again. You are more likely to choke on your food than you are to get into a serious traffic accident. As such, you ought to be vigilant. Thanks, Ku? I'll keep that in mind. Good, you do that, Ichigo, too. Sweet Shoreline would be in a tricky situation if you were to choke. You must eat gracefully, like me. Observe. Num num. Ku nibbles at her pizza delicately. Her white teeth flash as she takes small baby-sized bites of the pointy end. That's kind of cute. Do you think so? Yeah, you look like a chipmunk. I grinned. I think I look stupid if I ate like that, but I'll try to be more careful. I reach for another slice of pizza, then begin to eat it more slowly. Oh, that is so cute. Ichigo reaches for another slice too. A beatific smile on her face. She cups her cheeks with one hand, which is beginning to turn pink, and sighs. This really is the life. I'm so happy. I could die. I'm afraid the mention of death will encourage Ku to launch into another one of her perturbing lectures, but she remains silent. She's busy focusing on her food. Me too. Look it up and let me know. Look it up. Focusing on her food. Num num. I guess even Ku, the greatest spirit medium, is weakened against pizza. Who doesn't like it, really? There's only a few slices of mushroom and pepperoni pizza left now. It's a good thing we ordered 2 pizzas, or there wouldn't have been enough to go around. I could stand to eat a load more, but Miyuki, I know, hasn't had a single slice yet. I wonder why. Aren't you hungry, Miyuki? Don't you want any? Oh my god! No way! That's crazy, dude! Oh, you like mushrooms? Ugh! Hold on, give me a second. Why is my... There we go, my stream was so lagging on my end. Aren't you hungry, Miyuki? Don't you want any? I am hungry, but... Miyuki's eyes the pizza box mistrustfully. Her fingers clenched in her lap. Pizza is fattening. I need to watch my figure. Or pizza's fattening. I need to watch my figure. It'll be fine, Miyu. You worked, really hard today. You were dancing your cute butt off on stage. But not literally. Your behind is still attached to the rest of your body. And you didn't break a leg either. Dude, Ku is so funny. Yuck. I hate mushrooms. Good job. Ku gives Miyuki a thumbs up. I bet you worked up a real sweat on stage. You've got to get some carbs in you, so you don't keel over. Have some pizza, Miyu. It wouldn't be right if we hogged it all of it. You're just as much as part of this team as the rest of us. Ichigo glances at the few remaining slices of pizza, sprinkled with mushroom and pepperoni, and most deliciously of all, olives. Unless you don't like olives. The other pizza's only got pepperoni on it. You can have that instead if you'd rather. Oh no, it's fine. I don't mind eating olives. Really, I'm not a child. Not anymore, maybe. Who smiles? But I remember when you were younger, you were quite the picky eater. Is that true? I can't imagine the stoic, serious Miyuki being fussy with her food. It doesn't seem to suit her somehow, but then again, neither does her fondness for cats, or her inability to cook, or her excruciating shyness. There's a lot of dimensions to Shinomi Miyuki. The one was student council president of her school. That's right. Miyuki used to hate broccoli and beets. She particularly dislikes green peppers. Once, when her mother put sauteed green peppers in her lunchbox, let's not go into that, alright? That was a long time ago. I've changed since then. What happened in the past should remain in the past. Alright then. I won't tell Naoya and Ichigo that. In a fit of childish rage, she threw your sauteed green peppers out the classroom window, or that they hit our teacher on his shiny bald head. Huh? No way. I snort. That's wild. Did you get in trouble, Miyuki? No. Miyuki looks away while toying shyly with her hair. Ku took the blame from me. She said she did it to see whether green peppers could fly. The teacher shouted at her, and she had detention for a week. That's a good friend. He was as strict as he was bald. He was a real demon. I felt so guilty about it. I tried to say it was my fault, but the teacher didn't believe me. He thought I was covering for my friend. He couldn't imagine that I could have done something so childish when I had the best grades in the class. Miyuki sighs. After that, I trained myself to eat green peppers. I didn't want to get Ku in trouble again. I can eat almost anything now. I'm a real adult. Then you can eat up this delicious pizza, can't you? Well, come on, Miyu. Don't worry about the calories. You're like super skinny anyway. A slice or two won't hurt. It would be more dangerous if you don't eat. I would not want you to collapse on stage. That is a good point. I suppose I can have a bit, then. That's the spirit. Down the hatch. Should we order drinks too? I want a Bloody Mary. Yeah, I'm going to have to veto that. You're weird enough when you're sober, let alone when you're drunk. Phooey. Ku sighs. I'll have a tomato juice then, on the rocks. I wouldn't mind some oolong tea. I'll have a soda. You're a man after my own heart, I see. Ichigo giggles. You gotta have a carbonated drink when you're eating pizza. It's like the law. Ichigo orders drinks for us from the bar, which arrive 5 minutes later. We spend the rest of the night eating pizza, sipping drinks, and telling stories about our childhood. We all laugh a lot, even Miyuki, and the hours pass by in a blur. Ah, what a day. I sigh to myself, exhausted, as I flop onto my bed. It's getting pretty late, and the sky is laced with stars. I'd like to go to sleep, but that would require some effort on my part. First, I need to have a bath, then brush my teeth, and change into my pajamas. That's much more work than I feel capable of exerting at the moment. Who knew going to Tokyo could be so stressful? It's been a fun trip so far, true, but it's such a huge city, it's easy to get overwhelmed. It's nothing at all like the small, cozy seaside town Ichigo and I call home. Then, there's the Rising Star Cup to worry about, and Shirori's unexpected support. Does she really have that much faith in Sweet Shoreline? I have faith in them too, naturally. I know they've been working hard, but winning the competition seems almost impossible. Our rivals are too strong. I wonder if Shirori meant what she said. Was she spouting empty platitudes? She seems sincere, though. I wonder. Knock, knock, knock. A rap of knuckles upon my door pulls me from my thoughts. I sit up in bed, disoriented, and run a hand through my hair. A quick glance at the clock on my bedside table tells me it's around 2300. It's pretty late for visitors, isn't it? Knock, knock, knock. The knocking continues despite my lack of response. If anything, I think it sounds even more insistent. It's plain to me that my visitor doesn't intend to leave. Whoever they are, perhaps they have an urgent matter to discuss. Is it Ichigo? Miyuki? Ku? Whoever it is, I won't find out until I let them in. Knock, knock, knock. Alright, alright. I rise to my feet, then pad over to the door. I'm coming. You don't need to worry. I tug at the door handle, then pull the door ajar. It swings back with a swish to reveal. Well met, Mr. Yakayama. Is it wonderful to see you again, though I do wish you had been more prompt about answering the door. Do you know it is rude to keep a lady waiting? It is unpardonably rude. The Dark Lord shall hear on this. Thou must make no mistake about that. Thou shalt regret the indignity thou hast inflicted upon the Dark One, when the sky turns red and the crows crawl in the ferment. I look between Hasaki and Rina, my two uninvited guests, with I'll get it out. Give me a second. Undisguised annoyance. Of all the people it could have been rapping on my door, I wish it hadn't been these two. It's much too late at night to deal with their shenanigans. I can already feel a headache coming on. What do you two want? Make it quick. You two? Hasaki bristles, her eyes narrowed. This Dark One will have thee know, lowly human scum, that is no way to refer to beings such as Rina and I. Oh yeah? I raise an eyebrow. Forgive me for my insolence. What should I be doing, O great and exalted one? Thou shouldn't bow before us. Thou shouldn't bow before us, puny mortal, and weep at our feet, in awe of our divine presence. Thine tears should make a worthy tribute to the Dark One. Do that, thine punishment shall not be too severe. And if I can't muster the tears you so ordinarily desire, then thou shalt suffer from your ignorance, and shalt be plunged into eternal despair and damnation, in accordance to the Dark One's creed. What creed? The creed of, Hasaki flounders for a few moments, her arms held stiffly at her side, until she regains her composure. The creed of worshipping Rina and I as your unestimable overlords, of course. Of course. I roll my eyes. What else can I do, really, in this situation? So, is there a reason why you decided to pay me a visit so late? Or are you just trying to be annoying? Annoying? How dare you, lowly worm? With the power bestowed upon me by the Dark Lord, the Dark One shall rain chaos upon thine unworthy head, the likes of which thou hast. Alright, Hasaki, dear, we get the general idea. But Rina, fire and brimstone and damnation, yes, I've heard it all before. Now to business. Honey Devil's leader turns her gaze to me. Her lips curved into a smile, but there's something cruel about it. I don't trust her. The annoyance I felt upon seeing Rina Hasaki at my doorstep soon disintegrates into something more sinister. My fight or flight sense, inherited from my prehistoric ancestors, are going out of whack. This can't bode well. I don't know what Hasaki and Rina want, but I already have a terrible feeling about this. May we come into your room, Mr. Yakayama? It will not do, you see, to converse upon some sensitive, shall we say, subject out in the open. One never knew who might be eavesdropping. I'd rather you didn't. I begin, but Rina cuts me off seamlessly. Thank you kindly, Mr. Yakayama. I knew you would understand. You are a gentleman of true class, who would never dream to leave a pair of cute girls out in the cold. Wait, they're going to... Oh, 100%. 100%. Rina giggles, then slips past me into my bedroom. Come along, Hasaki. Time waits for no woman. This is an urgent matter, as I believe I impressed upon you before we quitted our room. Yes, Rina, at once. The Dark One shall hasten to obey thy commands. Hasaki follows suit, which earns her a small smile. Now then, Rina takes a seat upon the edge of my bed and surveys me with half-lidded eyes. How have you been faring, Mr. Yakayama? Are you quite alright? Oh, spare me. I scowl. I doubt you came here to have a friendly chat. I know you don't care about me. Not really. What did you really come here for? Out with it. I don't have all night. It's late. So, we are cutting straight to the heart of the matter, are we? How boorish. I had hoped to ease into the matter by degrees through polite conversation. But you are quite right to be conscious of the time. It is rather getting away from us. I shall endeavor then to be succinct, but first, Rina pats the mattress with one hand. It does not feel right conducting this conversation while you are still standing. Won't you take a seat? I'd rather not. I don't want to go anywhere near Rina, but if obeying her will get this uncomfortable affair over more quickly, I'll bite the bullet. I cross the room with a series of steps, then sit stiffly beside her, leaving several inches of space between us. Alright, I've sat, as you can see, Your Majesty. My voice drips with sarcasm as I address her. I know it's probably not the best idea to rile her up like this, knowing how scary she can be, but I'm beyond caring. I just want her to leave me alone, and Hasaki too. Now what? Now what, he says. Rina tuts. You are being awfully gauche, Mr. Yakayama. But I suppose I will forgive you. I know I have done very little to earn your trust. It is a mark of what a good man you are, truly, that you regret Hasaki and I with such suspicion. I can tell you have only Sweet Shoreline's best interest at heart. But therein lies the problem. Rina's eyes narrow. Do you truly think Sweet Shoreline can best the competition at the Rising Star Cup? There are so many talented groups, including Honey Devil, that our chances of success seem slim at best, to non-existent at worst. Could your dear friend Miss Suzuki endure the pain of being passed over by her very own idol, Hashizori Shirori? I'd rather think not. Failure to achieve would destroy her. Her poor, fragile ego would be crushed to dust, like a broken mirror. Anguished her smile shall never again return. This dark one shall feast upon her despair, and in so doing shalt become stronger than thou can ever imagine. Kuahahaha! It is as Hasaki says. The Rising Stars Cup is a brutal tournament, not disclaimer to the bloody fights which occurred with the Roman Colosseum. If you do not wish your girls to get hurt, and I know you do not, then you will pull out if you know what is good for you. That is the only way to preserve the smile of the girls you love so. Right. So, to summarize, you want Sweet Shoreline to drop out of the Rising Stars Cup. I would not phrase it quite like that, but yes, I suppose so. I would hate for them to suffer unnecessarily, you see? Yeah, I'm sure. I'm so sure. I shrug off Rina's hand, which she brings to rest upon my shoulder, and shuffle another inch away from her. I can't even stand to be in the same room as this poisonous snake. She acts like she cares. Her words doused in compassion, but there's nothing more than an act. She's just trying to remove potential obstacles, so as to clear a path to her own victory. If I didn't know Rina as I do, perhaps I'd fall for her false concerns, but I'm not about to let her trick me. I'm not a complete idiot. I'm sorry, Rina, but Sweet Shoreline aren't going anywhere. They were invited to participate in the Rising Star Cup because Silver Snow Pro thought they had talent. If they didn't have a shot at winning, they wouldn't be here in the first place. As things stand, they have just as much right to perform upon the stage as you. Blasphemy! Hasaki exclaims, holding one hand to one of her red eyes. How canst thou liken Sweet Shoreline to Honey Devil? It is unthinkable. Sweet Shoreline hath not existed for a full year, whilst Honey Devil has existed for years. This Dark One has given her all to the arcane art of singing and dancing, so that she might ennoble lost souls and deliver peace unto them before the inevitable of Ragnarok's fiery advent. Thou hast no right to speak of talent. Do not presume to think thou canst best thus. That is nothing more than folly. The Dark One will not hear of it. Dear Hasaki is getting a touch too worked up, I fear. But she is correct. We have been in the industry for longer than your girls. Other groups, meanwhile, have been in the industry longer still than us. Sweet Shoreline are amateurs, to put it kindly. They do not stand a chance. Can you not see that? If you persist on letting them perform, they shall be humiliated. Now, that's what you said last time. Can't you girls get another line? It's getting old. We're not backing out of the competition, and that's the end of that. I don't want to discuss the matter further. If that's all you have to say, then we'd be bidding you a good night. But Mr. Yakayami, I said good night. Oh dear, what a pity. Rina heaves a sigh, all that while toying with a lock of curly hair. I had hoped you could be reasoned with, like a sensible adult, but it seems I overestimated you. Your passion has made you impervious to rational argument. If words cannot sway your heart, we must instead reply upon action. I do not want to resort to unhanded tactics, but if it is for the greater good. Rina clicks her fingers. Hisaki, if you please. Wouldn't thou like this Dark One to persuade the heroic with my enchanted eye? If you could, do it like I taught you, alright? Don't deviate from the script. Certainly, the Dark One will enjoy breaking this unpity human down. Cuckoo ha ha ha. It is with an eerie giggle that Hisaki approaches me, and before I can protest, loops her arms around my neck. What the hell? What the hell? She lowers herself on my lap, brings her mouth to my neck, and murmurs, Whilst thou not listen to reason, lowly human, if thou contains to reject us, thou will regret it. Kua. I wince. Hisaki isn't particularly heavy, despite the bulk of her austerious dress. If I wanted, I could push her away with ease. My brain is screaming at me to extract myself from this situation, but for some reason I can't. My body feels frozen in place, my limbs locked up. I can feel Hisaki's warm breath against my skin. It's disconcertingly good. I could get used to this. Goodness me, thin heartbeat is awfully fast. This Dark One can feel it through thy shirt. Couldn't thou be enjoying this? Doubt thou want to be disciplined by the Dark One? No, I don't. What are you? I begin, but I can't get the words out. I feel something soft and damp press against the curve of my neck. It's Hisaki's tongue. She's licking me. I gasp. Oof. Hisaki's tongue trails along my neck. She licks slowly, languidly, then clamps her mouth to my skin and begins to suckle. Her pointed incisors graze against my wet skin, and I shiver. Is she some kind of vampire? I hope she doesn't truly mean to drain me of my blood. She's already drained me of my common sense. My brain feels cloudy, and my heart won't stop hammering. Perhaps she really has enchanted me. I don't want this, at least I don't think I do, but my body just won't listen. Ah, how delicious. It has been a long time since the Dark One has permitted to partake of human flesh. I can feel my heartbeat through thy neck. I can feel thy heartbeat through thy neck. It is faster than a rabbit and hopelessly afraid. The fear rolls off thee in waves. It is making this Dark One quite dizzy. The blood is rushing to mine own head. I cannot let things stand like this. The dark power rolling within me will not allow it. I demand further tribute. Kuro. Damn it! I hiss between clenched teeth, my fingers curled into fists. I don't want to react to Hisaki's ministrations, but my body has ceased to listen to my brain. Heat is beginning to build in my abdomen and upon my cheeks. This is allowing to continue. It could get dangerous. What should I do? Push Hisaki away. Sorry, but I push Hisaki off me, then rise to my feet. I'm not interested. Huh? Hisaki stares at me. Distinctly rumpled, her lips are damp from her earlier ministrations. I can see pink spots beginning to appear on her pale cheeks. Thou dost not mean that, surely. Thou canst not be immune to the advances of this Dark One. I hath been imbued with powers granted me by the great Dark Lord. No puny mortal shall be able to resist the allure of my enchanted eyes. It is simply not possible. Evidently it is possible, or I would have fallen under your so-called spell. I make quotation marks with my fingers to underscore how ridiculous this all is, then sigh. Goodness. My upper lip curls. I don't think I could make my disdain more evident if I spat on the floor, which I am not going to do. That wouldn't be very gentlemanly. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm not interested in either of you or your advances. I'm loyal to Sweet Shoreline, and I'm going to keep supporting them. I don't owe you two anything. Mr. Yakayama, please. You're being too hastily. Sit, please, and let us discuss the matter as an adult should. Surely your consciousness cannot handle rejecting the both of us. You are not callous enough to make a fool of a pair of pretty women, are you? Under normal stances, no. But I'm not an idiot. I know what you're up to. I won't let you make a fool out of me either. Now, get out. I won't ask you again. If you can't do that of your own violation, I'll be forced to call the front desks. What? Rita's eyes widened to comic proportions. Surely you do not mean that. You would not have us cast from your room like the common Rufflins, would you? I would if that's what it would take to make you two leave me alone. How unseemly. I cannot believe you would act in so forceful a manner. You are no gentleman. Yeah, well, you are no lady either. You pretend to be cultured, but you're a scheming harpy. A harpy? Well, I'd never. Why, you... Hasaki grits her teeth together. She's holding her arm stiffly at her side, her hands clenched in a fist. How dare thou speak to my companion so brazenly? Dost thou not know who I am? My powers are immense. It is only owing to my benevolence that I do not smite thee there thou stands. If thou mean to humiliate me, then I shall ruin thee. Really? Go on, then. Show me what you're made of. Yeah? I raise an eyebrow. I'm waiting to be smited or smitten or smoted. That's the correct past tense of smite? Oh well, I doubt it matters at this much. It's clearly just to look at her. The Hasaki can't actually do any so-called smiting. She's just bluffing. Bluffering. You. Yes? You obnoxious, mean-spirited, convenient little worm. Hasaki suddenly explodes with a high-pitched squeal that doesn't sound particularly sinister. I'm scared, bro. Her lower lip is trembling and her eyes look suspiciously glossy. She isn't about to cry, is she? Now, I'm starting to feel almost guilty, but before I can say anything else, Hasaki picks up my pillow from my bed, then hurls it at me. Take this! Hasaki puts a fair bit of force into the throw, but as her projectile is so soft and squishy, it doesn't hurt a bit. This dark one does not care about thee, not one bit. I could crush thee like an ant if I so wanted, with only a click of my fingers. I have not done that because thou art so far beneath me. I would not want to waste my energy upon you. Thou hast not won. I have not been bested. I am the Dark One. Do not forget that, puny human. One of these days thou shalt regret your wickedness. The day of reckoning will soon come. Prepare thyself, puny mortal, for I shall make you regret that you ever humiliated me so. Sniffling, Hasaki turns and dashes up my room. I don't get a good look at her as she flees, but I swear I can see tears beating in her eyes. The door closes behind Hasaki with a slam, leaving Rina and I alone. Silence descends deeper than that at a crypt. Then Rina sighs. Goodness me, that would have gone better. That could have gone better. You are quite the brute, you know, Mr. Yakayama. You did not need to speak to Hasaki so harshly. Poor dear will be sobbing into her pillow all night. I suspected as much. Sorry about that. Maybe I handled that matter a bit indulgently. I'll say, you were possessed of all tack of a truck. Hasaki isn't an innocent victim here, though. You sicked her on me. What else was I supposed to do? Sit back and let her violate me? That was the general idea, yeah. If you had played along like a good little boy, all the heartbreak could have been avoided. We would be enjoying ourselves right now, the three of us together. I was willing to show you heaven. At the cost of my dignity? I snort. No thanks. You place rather too much importance upon immortal concepts. What is dignity, really, other than a piece to be bartered? I would and am willing to give it up, if it meant achieving what I wish. It has proved to be pragmatic, but I suppose that is why you are still a mere child. I, meanwhile, am a mature lady. I see now trying to negotiate with you was a mistake. We are not the same caste. It is impossible to make you see reason. I will not try to make any further deals with you, not after you made my dear Hisaki cry. That is a crime I cannot forgive. Rina rises to her feet, then glares at me. I will make you regret your folly, Mr. Yokoyama. You will rue the day that you sought to humiliate my darling Hisaki. I shall depart your room for the present. I cannot bear to look at you, but you had best keep your wits about you. You have made yourself a very powerful enemy. Yeah, whatever. Good night, Rina. Good night, and fare thee well. I hope you have pleasant dreams tonight. Rina smiles stingingly. For in the not-so-distant future, I doubt you shall be so fortunate. That is where we call it. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. I want to say what I get to be safe. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. We're going to get back in. We're going to finish this one out. Finish this series. Start another one at some point. That was a great chapter. I missed this game. Again, I appreciate everyone for stopping by. I appreciate the ones that will check this out later. Remember, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps out the channel, and I appreciate it more than you know. Tuesday, we will be collabing with Cunning Lone Wolf on Resident Evil 5. So, if you're interested, look out for that. Yeah, going forward, we're just going to finish out this game, collab with Cunning on Resident Evil 5, and then we'll go from there. But for now, I must bid you all adieu. Goodbye, and good night. Give me a second.